doctor is very enthusiastic about her work. She believes that this creation, this apex, will be helpful for not only pilots but Terran military as a whole. And from what I've gathered, it's basically like a very condensed program that gathers, analyzes, and shows you the data, like radio transmissions, 3D maps, basically anything that can give you knowledge that can eliminate the fog of war, that can allow you to cooperate better with your allies on the field. At least that's what she's saying.
I see. If Chief Scientist Akari speaks the truth, then I do agree that it will be a great addition. And then Zach just goes off.
Yes, well, the High Command accepted her petition to conduct these changes, and I do not doubt her skills. She definitely earned her position. It just... and he gives like a slightly shy, maybe almost ashamed smile, that... sadly, her character is just not really compatible with mine. And then he quickly adds, but I certainly hope that you and Fräulein Park will have good teammate cohesion. That you will get along. That was what he wanted to say.
Yeah, and then Zach will say that I'm sure we will.
Excellent. Is there something else I can help you with?
No, sir, that was all my question.
Very well. Enjoy your chocolate. It's really good. And he laughs a little bit and takes another sip.
Zach chuckles and says, "You too," and then goes back to parking.
Okay. Just a quick question. Do you want to talk to one another? Or should I proceed on this?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So I will activate one thing. And this will be like a one showcase of one of the mechanics used by the system. Essentially, when something happens, for example, if there is an explosion, you get a saving throw to basically jump out of the way and avoid being damaged. Basically, you have physical saving throws. For example, it means that if you are getting poisoned or if you drink too much, you make a physical saving throw, which basically represents how hardy, how tough you are, how much you can endure, and if you endure it. Mental saving throw is when you are resisting mental influences. If somebody tries to use a psionic power on you, for example, telepathy, if somebody wants to read your mind and you want to resist that, you roll a mental saving throw. And evasion saving throw, evasion saving throw is your like how nimble you are when escaping danger. So for example, as I said, if there's an explosion, evasion saving throw is used to determine if you get caught up in the blast or if you are able to dodge out of the way and avoid being damaged. In this case, as Heinrich turns around and starts walking out of the bay towards his office, and Zach is walking towards Park, something happens.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's no problem. Something happens.
Okay.
I will. Park, you have been trained in using psychic powers, so you don't randomly hear like thoughts of other people. Your mind is very organized, determined, and you have firm control of your powers. So it's very jarring and not confusing, maybe almost shocking when there's suddenly this wave. There's a moment when at the edges of your conscience you think you hear mental whispers, like a legion of them. You cannot discern what they are saying, but this feeling of whispers, and then like a tidal wave there is this bestial animal scream that echoes through the meta dimension, through the psionic realm, a scream of complete rage, fury, and it's unlike any animal you have ever heard. And please give me a mental saving throw. Essentially, you only need to click on, when you have at the top of your character sheet, you have saving throws, and you can just click mental.
Okay. Oh, I failed.
Normally that would be a failure. However, one of the things that you have is called Neuro Intruder Alert, which is a cyberware, basically a cybernetic implant in you that basically allows you to have a better chance at resisting telepathic intrusion. This wasn't really much of a telepathic intrusion, more like a psychic scream that echoed throughout the area. However, mechanically this works. So instead of getting like massive nosebleed and spitting headache that would basically knock you to your knees, basically you feel pain. There's like a spike like of pain in your head as almost like somebody tried to ram basically hit your head with a hammer. Zag, you see that Park just like puts a hand to her head, just grabs it, and there's like a hiss of pain. And also another thing that happens when you realize basically psionics are very prevalent and very often in the Terran Mandate. So you basically see that some, let's say 2 or 3 staff members that had some basic minor talents in some in some psionic discipline, you hear like screams of pain or just like what the hell, and you see some of them like grabbing their heads, falling to their knees, and there's suddenly this commotion, confusion, like what is going on?
Ugh, my head. What's going on? There, I sense something. Is there other than me that having the effect? Like
Yeah,
massive headache.
yeah. When you like get a foot on, you notice that basically two other staff members that had some minor, that were psionics but not powerful, just some minor talents. You basically see them that they are knocked to the ground. Like one is fully unconscious, the other one is like on his knees, like holding his head. You see that basically he has like a nosebleed. Obviously other people are already like reacting, like shouting, what's going on, help them, and they are like attempting to like beginning the procedure of first aid, like inspecting them and whatnot. Heinrich, who didn't manage to leave the area, you and Zach see that he immediately just like turns around, sees that something is wrong, and he starts with a clear worry on his face. He starts running back towards you.
What's going on? Where's that wave come from? I'm just like trying to help the others that get what's the word? Get same effect like me, and especially there's one passed out. So I'm just trying to help.
Okay. And by the way, just to confirm, Zag, you felt nothing.
Okay.
Because you are not a psionic.
Well,
Essentially, Zag, how do you react to all of this?
At first, I just looked at Hyejin, like worried, but then seeing that other people fell down, had a nosebleed, and seeing Hyejin rush over to them, Zach also follows along and tries to look for someone in the upper rankings to help. And then he saw Heinrich running to them.
Okay. Yeah, as basically because sadly neither of you have skills in heal. Basically, heal is a skill that basically deals with basic first aid and whatnot. You do help, as in like you do very basic stuff like ensuring they are not like the unconscious person won't choke on its tongue. So like the very very basic stuff, and like you ensure they are not hurt worse, and you allow the other more qualified personnel to take over. And as a Heinrich runs over to you, Freund Park, Freund Zach, are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine, but Hyejin seems affected.
I feel my head splitting in two, but I'm okay. It's okay.
Can you? I'm sorry for asking, but I'm not a psionic myself. I hopefully will get a message from the rest of the base soon enough. But can you describe? Have you felt something? Do you have a feeling what it was?
Describe the pain or the wave that I
Basically
got.
the wave and this like animal like rage roar that you heard from like thousands of mouths, mouths. Fucking hell,
Like
that's
mouse. Oh,
mouse.
okay. So he didn't try to remember the not signal, the psionic this disturbance she felt right now, even though her head is in so much pain. She feels like she want to take off her head for a moment because of the pain right now. So what she said to Hendrik now, like, I'm sorry, Sir Hendrik, it's a little bit blurry, but I do I do hear something like animalistic roar and mouse, like ancient. It sounds ancient. And my head.
Uh, I understand. Herr Doctor, do you have anything on standby? And yeah, Carrie is slightly confused at what happened, but when maybe she got closer to Heinrich and she like hears as Spark is explaining, and she suddenly seems very interested. Yes, of course. I always keep first aid kits nearby, and she will pull out a bottle of pills like TL5, like the very standard version of anti-pain drugs that you can take if you have like a migraine or something like that. But essentially, because of the no intruder alert, Park managed to like push through the worst of it, and definitely, but the pills themselves will also help to ease off the pain.
Oh, what is that? I don't understand. Is what's the word? Professor Amada still here? Head scientist Amada. Professor
As I said,
Amada.
so like she
Again.
approached you, and Heinrich asked her if she has any like pain pills, basically like medication for headaches. And yeah, she procured something, and yeah, you have anti-pain pills that you can use.
Thank you, Professor Amada. It will be helpful. I take the painkiller meds and then ask Professor Amada like, do you I hear something. I hear animalistic roar for some reason, and then it caused so much pain in my head. Uh, do you know something about it?
She thinks for a moment. She is not a psychic. You know, both of you know that. But there's suddenly a spark of intuition in her eyes, and basically, like near your mechs, there's this like station. There are like several computer terminals, holographic screens where like she worked on. And you see as she approaches, she starts typing furiously on the holographic keyboard. Several screens pop out. She seems to like thinking very hard about something. And then, well, that's very interesting. I didn't hear that myself, which means that the effect was limited to psionics. But from what you described, this sounds like a sort of psionic scream, which means that maybe maybe we have met some sort of hive mind, psionic based hive mind, which, oh, that is very interesting, very interesting. And Heinrich like cuts in, preferably might be dangerous. Herr Doctor, this installation must finish quickly. I need my pilots to be ready just in case, if what you're saying is true. And she, of course, we were just finishing. Anyway, but what could have happened? Is it like localized or whatnot? Pilots, can you do me a favor and like get into your machines and start them up? We can link the Apex program and you will see, hopefully we'll see something cool.
Huh? Oh, okay. I'm
I
gonna
thought they were
very soon.
And if any of you like is hesitant, the Heinrich, which is your like the direct supervisor, just nods and like as a motion to go ahead.
okay. Then Zion follows her instructions.
Okay, so you strap in, and the heads-up display goes online. You see that the various elements are activating. You know, these weapons online, support system online, and then there's like through the messages. There's also one like initializing tactical assistance program. Version 0001 Alpha, codename Apex. And then like your mechs are activated, and on your heads-up display a window pops out, which basically is like a question like, do you want to synchronize with the local information network? And immediately, like through the comms voice of Professor Amada comes through, and she says, click yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and Zach also clicks yes.
Okay, so on your heads-up display, instead of the hangar bay in which you are currently are, you see 3D map of the surrounding area. You see the colony settlement, and then it zooms out and you see the area around the base, the large, lush forests, jungles that are to the north, the massive mountain ranges that are dozens of kilometers away to the south. You see rivers, you see lakes. You basically see the entire topographic terrain of the basically nearest 30 kilometers, I would say, or maybe slightly larger. And then you see on the heads-up display information like connecting with a military network, done. Connecting with motion detectors, done. Connecting with, or rather searching for military transmissions, adjusting, and several messages like that. And then on the display of this map, well, you see some like movement. You see like the map shows you, because you connected to all of the networks, that where are nearby patrols, like you see where are people moving inside the settlement. And then as the wave of information goes further outward, you see the blue marker, like blue signal that points towards section dagger, which is a part of your platoon. And you've remembered that Heinrich said that earlier in the day they went out with scientists in the field. And you see that the icon is still, let's say, around 15 kilometers away. But you see and you like realize after a moment that they are approaching very rapidly. It definitely seems like they are driving full speed ahead, maximum speed, like as in they are escaping from something. And then apologies, I need to give me a second. I need to take a sip of tea because my voice is getting
Okay, no worries.
sore. And then as the wave of information goes further outward, you start, there's this ping, 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 like the sounds of detecting new unknown contacts starts like a constant like sound inside your cockpit, and you see that whatever it is, there is like several dozen, if not hundreds, of those new contacts, and it seems that they are in pursuit of your allies that are desperately trying to return to the settlement. And you hear like the Heinrich saying, "Mein Gott, this is not good." And then before you have a chance to react, like through your communications, like on open channel, there is suddenly a voice of after a moment, because at first there's a little bit of interference, so there's mostly like white noise, and then after a while like you hear who is saying and what. You recognize the voice of Samir Al-Sanchez, who you remember is a section leader of Dagger. And he sounds slightly stressed, but mostly like he is enjoying himself, like he's enjoying being in danger. In the background, as he's speaking, you can actually we can test like rolling skill checks. Both of you can make a notice skill check, and essentially how you make skill checks here. On your character sheet, in the top right corner, there is this section called Quick Menus, and you have like initiative, skills, psionics, saves, and weapons. So you can click skills.
Yes.
And it should whisper to you like a list of what you have in terms of skills.
Yeah, I see it.
And when it whispered to you, you can click on notice. And both of you can do that.
What attribute?
And there are no other modifiers. So you can just,
but
so
what
when you click notice and then another window pops out, you can click submit without changing anything.
No, there is attribute.
Yeah.
Attribute, sorry. Attribute would be wisdom. Yeah, because sorry, I forgot about that. You can pick. Okay, that's good.
Ugh.
Yeah, I would say that Park definitely manages to hear like on the edges of like being able to hear additional stuff, while Zach is mostly focused on what is being said, not on the like background stuff. Essentially, 13 is like a very solid success. Sadly, 6 is a failure. But and in some cases, failure is just like you don't get additional information, so it's like it's fine. And basically, what Park manages to hear are the sounds of gunfight. Or the gunfight, like they are mostly using energy weapons, so it's less like kinetic shooting, as you know, but more like the sizzles of plasma lasers and something like that. There are some explosions, but you also hear. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And you also hear something that, well, it reminds you of this psychic scream, because you can swear you hear similar like bestial roars that are coming in the like can be heard in the background. And what Samir is saying is this. And also, I cannot do the Middle Eastern accent, so sorry for that. Hello, can anybody hear me? This is Samir from Section Dagger. Danger close. We are being pursued by a fuck ton of very angry bugs. Does anyone copy? We could use help.
Bugs. What is bugs? B R
Bugs,
B A
like
R.
insects. Like
Oh, bug. Okay, thank you. Okay. What bugs? Oh, so that's why I hear those things. But I also hear that that scream again. Who is with me in this?
no,
In
sorry.
my current room.
I might have like wasn't clear enough. There's no another scream. Basically, because you heard the scream, you managed to figure out that what you are hearing in the background, as Samir is talking with you guys, you basically figure out that what you heard in the psychic scream were these like whatever bugs, insects, enemy is chasing Section Dagger right now. There was no another psychic scream.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's why I hear gunfight. Who is anyone? Who is with me in this room right now?
There is Zach in his mech. There is Heinrich, Akari, couple of staff members that didn't leave, that just finished their tasks, and they managed to like they make you room in case you wanted to move.
No, I'm gonna inform the others first, and to Zach too. I hear a gunfight at the staff room. I think that's where information came from. And then
You
then I'll
you basically heard sounds of gunfight wherever Samir and Section Dagger currently is, and they are currently still like several kilometers away from the settlement, from your location.
Wait, what? Several kilometers from the settlement? No, that's weird.
I mean, you know that they left in the morning about that, and they were just
Yeah.
returned.
Oh, okay. That's why. Okay, I inform to anyone with me right now, including Zach. Like, I heard a gunfight. I think it's staff room.
Zag Zag was also listening, right, to the radio.
You also hear that. But Sally, you didn't like. You mostly focused on what Samir was saying. Although now that Park mentioned that, you definitely like hear that. Section Dagger is in trouble and they are in combat as they are running away. Probably from a horde of very angry aliens.
Then Zag tells Heinrich through the intercom that, "Sir, platoon dagger is wait, is it platoon?
Section.
Section dagger is requesting backup. They are being chased by a horde of what sounds to be bugs."
I see. Wait one. I will inform the commander. But you start up your mechs. You can leave the bay and you have like the exit prepared, and assume the battle, like be ready for combat essentially. We will be in contact, like you have like active communications, so radio transmissions are not a problem.
At what's the word? The source was the source of the sound of the gunfight. Can I move towards that?
I mean, you can definitely like leave the hangar bay and still be within the settlement range and wait for visual contact, because otherwise you would have to leave the fire support range of the base, because they are still, Section Dagger is still quite a distance away, and essentially you would be going to them if you wanted to like go to the source of the gunfight. And as you are leaving, after a moment, another sound erupts in the air, but this one, this is like general quarters alert, and automated message plays out throughout the public announcement system, and it basically is: action stations, set condition 1 throughout the base. This is not a drill. Prepare for combat. And as you are leaving, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, sorry. I just like, oh no, that's didn't sound good at all. Gosh.
Yeah, and as you are leaving the hangar bay and you see the rest of the settlement, you can see that the message immediately made people act. Like, you see soldiers running towards their positions, you see automated gun turrets being loaded and moving to adjust for like where they should be shooting. Yeah, essentially it's a beehive of activity, and yeah, everyone is moving towards their positions, and you can also do that because you basically know, in case of combat, when you have to still in the standby mode, you basically have prepared positions where you should be, and yeah, you can move towards there. For example, Zach and his sniper mech definitely have like a prepared firing position on like a slightly like higher elevated reinforced roof. or some other place that allows a good like range, visual range. Give me a second, I need to turn my lights on.
Hello?
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Uh, sorry. So, what can we do right now? We can't go there. We can't go to the source of the sound, but there is an alert. No, there's an alarm
Yes,
about
and it
the
basically
map.
means that danger is coming. Be prepared. And I might like move you to, like, this is like a very basic map, just to give you like a general idea how the how the like the surrounding area looks like. Just give me a moment. Okay. Sorry, Roll20 is not cooperative. Okay, so I'm gonna move you to this page, and you can basically zoom out a little bit so you can like see. Like, this is basically like a rough sketch of like the settlement. And you know that section dagger will be coming from the east. So you probably would place, like, settle your mechs in the east section of the settlement. And now, basically, as you wait, there is this anticipation and tension in the air, and especially Zach can see this because he has a very good weaponry that allows him. He has a very large range of fire. So you see that this like lush forest jungle in the distance like starts almost like a whole, it starts shaking, like if you imagine from the movies, like when like dinosaur is coming, like, you know, trees are falling down, like the entire flora is like shaking, moving left and right, and there is this like slowly rising sound of many, like a stampede is coming, like hundreds of legs of heavy bodies like are moving, running towards you. Afterwards, like another sounds are joined, like the sounds of like screams, like this inhuman screams of rage, And there's also sounds of engine of the main like transport vessel, like ground vehicle that is plowing through the ground. And you basically see that at first the section dagger in the vehicle, in their transport ship, is suddenly like erupting from between the forests. You know, like they jumped on some sort of like small, like they like plow through, and they suddenly like are visible by the base, and there's like a moment of like not silence, but this beat when there's like a complete anticipation of what will happen in just a moment, and then maybe like several moments after they become visible, they plow through the jungle. You see a horde of alien monsters, beasts, bugs that are in hot pursuit of Section Dagger. Essentially, they're like looking like very ravenous swarm of like bug-like creatures with chitinous multiple legs. Essentially, for visual reference, you can think of Tyranids from Warhammer or Zerg from StarCraft.
Okay.
Wow, I know, sir.
Yeah, they look like a bad business. And technically speaking, and we are in combat. Just to explain, normally when you'll be playing like usual starts with a number campaign, when ground combat happens, the turn lasts for 6 seconds. As in, like, you do an action and that happens within 6 seconds. But here we're gonna be using slightly different rules, because the distance that we are fighting on is so large. Essentially, each turn will be equivalent to, let's say, between 10 to 15 minutes of like, or rather between 5 and 10 minutes of real life time. And during each turn, you will have a chance to do actions like move, attack something, assuming you will be in range, and whatnot. So in case of range, yeah, essentially, maybe I'll ask differently. Like, you see that Section Dagger is in danger. They are being pursued by a horde of basically alien monsters. And yeah, through the military communication, you can hear that prepare for combat, get me targeting solutions. As soon as they get in range, fire at will, and stuff like that. Yeah, so what do you do?
Is there an how we deploy ourselves then to go to the section dagger?
You can like declare that as one of your as your move action. You begin you start rushing towards them.
Yeah, because when I see in my character sheet about my mech, I see the speed is 4, but what for?
Yeah,
No
that's the thing, that it's kind of abstract, or rather, speed is used in some cases. like it can be added or detracted from something. But in this case, because we are kind of playing this in a slightly kind of like cinematic scenario, speed 4, which can be higher because on your character sheet you can, like, your mech has something called kinesis boost, and essentially that means that your mech, because there's no limit how many times you can use that, your mech essentially can have effective speed of 6, which means it's very fast. It's extremely fast,
and have
and essentially
two
if you
initiative.
if and yeah, +2 to initiative rolls, and actually yeah, we can, because that also exists. You can roll initiative, and essentially it's as before. So in the quick menus you have initiative, like hyperlink, and you can click that, and it should roll you initiative.
Oh, is it already increased by? Oh no.
It's not
So
bad, but it's fine.
I
You don't have to roll because it's 9, but with +2 from your kinesis boost, that should be 11.
yeah. Oh well. Oh well.
Which is bloody excellent.
Really?
Yeah, I mean you basically maxed out, like you rolled maximum on initiative.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because initiative it's D8, so you rolled an 8 on D8.
So should I also roll for
Yes,
initiative now?
yes, you should also roll. Okay, and I'm also gonna roll, I'm gonna add you to initiative turn, and you have 7. And section dagger has, let's say they have +1 because of everything. Oh, they are also pretty quick. And the horde, because they have a lot of numbers, but they are not evolutionary inclined to be very quick. They only roll D8.
4.
Nice.
Wow.
Those rolls are interesting. Yeah, essentially, Park, you can act first, and just as you do, you also, both of you hear Heinrich on your communication, that he says, engage at will, do everything you can to help them, but be careful. Or rather, he would say, watch yourself.
Nice.
Roger.
Roger that. Excuse me. I want to. I have a question.
Yeah.
This is like jungle, like vegetation, right?
Yeah.
This. And then what is this? Is it
This
a river?
this is a small lake, and this is a river.
Okay.
And yeah, basically this token is just like an abstract representation of the enemy. I just didn't want to like spam the map with like hundreds of tokens, so this is like a one token to represent the enemy formation.
Okay. So first I want to storm myself to the section dagger as soon as I can, but with 4 speed, with 6 speed, is it 6? I think 6. Yeah.
Yeah, well, with
With
Kinesis Boost
6
it's 6.
speed.
Yeah, and yeah, you can get to them in one turn.
How many in one turn?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then I will move my token then.
Okay.
And here. Like I don't know what 6 speed is. Is it like 6 style?
Um,
6 speed.
Not really, but essentially, what's important is that you can get to section dagger in one turn, no problem at all. Even if you wanted, you could have moved here if you want to, or even move to the
Okay. Oh.
same tile if you wanted. Okay. So that's your move.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah? Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot. I have my push to talk now. While I'm there, I want to look at the section dagger. Like, what is their situation? Is all of the members there, or some of them lost at the horde? Like checking stuff.
Uh, okay. This is in combat situation, so you can make another not notice plus wisdom check, but difficulty will be 7. So you can just make another skill check, which is like wisdom plus notice based on wisdom.
It is
Difficulty
skill,
is
right?
yeah, skill. Okay. Yeah, basically it's like for visual reference regarding this vehicle, you can think of a mix between Mako from Mass Effect and like a just like a slightly larger version that has like an open back, and in that back portion you see some members of Section Dagger that are strapped in and they are laying down fire to anything that gets too close. And yeah, with that roll, you see that they seem to be pretty well off. They seem to like didn't suffer, like the horde didn't manage to get them, and you definitely see your cousin amongst them.
Okay.
That
I
might
think.
probably even like you notice that when she notices your white mech, uh, she gives you like this half formal salute, as in like, go get them, cousin.
Okay, they're like, what's the word? When Hyejin arrived, like, shortly, and then see her cousin, and her cousin, like, what's the word? Uh, like, suddenly tell that to her, like, with Hyejin, just like, because she is in her mech, just like looking at the cousin solemnly and then nod, bow a little, and then go for, and then went focusing on the horde again.
Okay.
Uh, for sorry, but do I already use my action for noticing, or I
No, no,
still have
no.
my action?
You still have your action. And essentially, if I may suggest something, and again, this is like this combat we are doing slightly differently from how it usually goes, because this is like a mass combat, and normally you have like singular enemies, and like you normally like roll with d20s and whatnot. Um, if I may suggest, like basically this is I imagine like choice basically because this horde is gaining on the section dagger, and there are some beasts getting closer, and they might, if you want, they might get within range of of your weapons. So the question is like, is your main